From Point Break to RoboCop to Conan the Barbarian, the early 2010s were flooded with remakes of beloved 80s and 90s action films. Studios viewed these reboots as safe bets, banking on nostalgia to draw audiences. Yet, for the most part, these films stumbled both critically and commercially. 2012's Total Recall stands as a prime example. While the original 1990 film became iconic, this remake struggled to justify its existence. The remake's journey began at Columbia Pictures in 2009, with screenwriter Kurt Wimmer tasked with revamping the script. Len Wiseman, known for the Underworld series, took on directing duties, while Colin Farrell assumed the role of Douglas Quaid, a part initially considered for Tom Hardy and Michael Fassbender. Jessica Biel was cast as Quaid's love interest after Scarlett Johansson declined due to her commitment to Avengers. Despite a strong cast, including Bryan Cranston as the villain Cahagan and Kate Beckinsale as Laurie, the film couldn't escape the shadow of its predecessor. With a budget estimated at $125 million, Total Recall opened in August 2012 with $25 million, but ultimately grossed only $198 million worldwide, a disappointment considering marketing and distribution costs. Comparatively, the original film, directed by Paul Verhoeven and starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, overcame 16 years of development hurdles to become a box office and critical hit. The remake's struggles highlight a recurring issue in 2010's action reboots: the difficulty of recreating the magic of the originals. Audiences crave familiarity but also expect innovation. Without offering something distinct or compelling, these remakes often feel redundant. Thunderstrikes channel explores how nostalgia-driven projects can backfire, showing that simply recycling a classic story isn't enough. For fans of the genre, this era is a lesson in ambition without substance, a cautionary tale for studios chasing box office gold through familiar names. Delving into the production of 2012's Total Recall, it's clear the film had a troubled path. The remake was loosely based on Philip K. Dick's 1966 short story, We Can Remember It For You Wholesale, just like the 1990 version. Yet, unlike the original, which underwent 40 script drafts and numerous actor and director changes, the remake had a more streamlined, yet ultimately flawed, development. After hiring Wimmer to write the screenplay, additional touches were added by Mark Baumbach and uncredited polishes from James Vanderbilt. Principal photography began in May 2011 in Toronto, with a futuristic post-apocalyptic Earth envisioned as a cyberpunk playground. Casting choices seemed promising on paper. Colin Farrell brought experience from prior Dick adaptations, while Jessica Biel had been in 2007's Next. Kate Beckinsale and Bryan Cranston added star power. Even Ethan Hawke filmed a cameo as Carl Hauser, though his scenes were cut from theaters. The production spared no expense. Visual effects were polished, the futuristic sets felt immersive, and the post-apocalyptic aesthetic was meticulously crafted. However, lavish visuals and high budgets can't save a film if storytelling falters. While certain action sequences, like the moving elevator scene, were entertaining, much of the action lacked tension or emotional weight. The climax failed to impress, and the reliance on CGI stripped the movie of tactile charm that defined the 1990 original. The original's clever mix of satire, humor, and practical effects created a distinctive tone, a formula that the remake's serious approach simply couldn't replicate. Thunderstrikes channel highlights how even the most technically impressive films can fall flat when narrative and character development are overlooked, proving that spectacle alone doesn't guarantee success. 2012's Total Recall faced an uphill battle from the start. Remaking a classic means you're automatically held to a higher standard. Any misstep invites harsh comparisons. Unfortunately, the film didn't just falter, it stumbled under multiple pressures. Released during a competitive August 2012, it debuted second at the box office behind The Dark Knight Rises, which was still dominating its third weekend. Following weeks saw The Bourne Legacy and Expendables 2 pushing Total Recall further down the charts. Despite earning $198 million worldwide, it was far from profitable considering marketing and distribution costs. Critics were merciless. Rotten Tomatoes rated it 30%, IMDb scored 6.2/10, and Metacritic gave it 43%. Audiences also responded lukewarmly, and Arnold Schwarzenegger himself criticized the project years later, calling a remake of his original a stupid idea. Many viewers couldn't connect with the plot or characters, which echoed the original yet lacked its charm. The film attempted a serious, brooding tone, stripping away the absurd humor and satirical edge that made the 1990 version memorable. Instead of daring to reinterpret the story creatively, the remake merely replicated beats, resulting in a convoluted and uninspired experience. Thunderstrikes channel emphasizes that commercial failure often stems from a lack of originality. Without offering fresh perspective or emotional depth, even a well-known title can struggle to captivate audiences. In the case of Total Recall, familiar characters and storylines felt watered down, leaving viewers disengaged. The lesson is clear. Relying on nostalgia alone is rarely enough, especially in an era where audiences demand both homage and innovation. The story of Total Recall follows Douglas Quaid, a man dissatisfied with his mundane life who seeks a mind-altering vacation via a service called Recall. Wishing to experience life as a secret agent on Mars, Quaid's session triggers buried memories revealing that he actually is a spy, and his current life is a fabricated illusion. A shadowy government hunts him as he fights to reclaim his identity, falling in love along the way and attempting to thwart a nefarious plot. Yet, despite these exciting beats, the remake fails to deliver the emotional investment or tension of the original. Action sequences often impress visually but lack weight, while character arcs feel thin. The cyberpunk post-apocalyptic Earth setting, though visually rich, pales compared to the inventive Mars landscapes of the 1990 film. Key plot decisions, like keeping Lori alive longer than necessary or spelling out twists with tattoos, remove intrigue and creativity. Humor and satire are absent, replaced by a grim tone that renders even high-stakes action generic. The climax, intended to be thrilling, lands flat due to pacing and lack of emotional stakes. Nevertheless, some moments shine. The moving elevator action scene demonstrates inventiveness, and the production design exudes a high-end futuristic aesthetic. But these positives aren't enough to salvage a film that plays it safe creatively. Thunderstrikes channel reflects on how the 2012 Total Recall underscores the importance of bold choices, tonal balance, and respect for the original spirit. Without these, even a high-budget remake with strong visuals can feel hollow, leaving fans and critics alike disappointed. That's where we will leave everything for today. Though Total Recall may have aimed for the stars, sometimes even the most brilliant ideas can get lost in the translation process. I appreciate you joining me on this in-depth exploration of the highs, lows, and missed opportunities during this 2012 remake. I truly hope you have enjoyed discovering the story behind the well-known story, the struggles experienced behind the scenes, and the valuable lessons it leaves for fans of action cinema. Don't forget to stay curious, stay passionate about the art of cinema, and continue to have your love and appreciation for movies alive and thriving. Until next time, always remain open to exploring new adventures in the world of cinema, and let's continue to embrace the magic that movies bring to our lives. Don't forget to subscribe to my exciting YouTube channel at Thunderstrikes.